So I made it to level 30 with my first melee character, and she is a female. She's pretty sweet. I get asked a lot on how I built it, and there's many ways you could build this character. This is been playing on survival mode from the start, and it's been a lot of fun. So let's go over how I built it. My original strength when I started out was 8. However, I did need to put 1 more point into strength so that I could get rooted. Rooted is really important. It's a rank 9 skill. Rank 1 you get, 25 damage resistance and 25% more damage. And rank 2 at level 22, you gain 50 armor and 50% more damage. Huge amounts of damage. It's only when you're standing still, but it procs, it activates pretty much whenever you're meleeing, either in VATS or not in VATS, as long as you're not running and hitting. Really good skill. Also, I chose, in the beginning, I think it's a better choice to go with Big Leagues rather than Iron Fist. Big Leagues is any sort of melee weapon other than boxing gloves, power fists, things like that. Later in the game, I'm definitely going to start putting stuff up for power fists or Iron Fist, but I think it's a much better idea to go with Big Leagues from the start. Many points as you can into that. And I did rank 2 Blacksmith. Definitely don't need to go to rank 3. I haven't found anything that was really necessary unless you were also high int for science for some of the upgrades. But rank 2 Blacksmith to get some of your upgrades. Now for Perception, I put 3 points in from the start. Even though you need rank 4 to unlock Locksmith, you find a Perception bobblehead right when you find Preston Gravy. So rather than getting Locksmith right away, I just went and did the first mission, found Gravy, found the bobblehead, and then put it into Locksmith. And that was it for Perception. Originally I thought I was going to go with a high endurance build because it was survival, but I said nope and 1 point into endurance. However, later in the game, I do want to be, I want to have a really good high tolerance to all the drugs that I want to take and actually be immune to the chem addiction. Pretty sweet, but that's not going to happen until rank 4. And the other stat that I think might be worth for late game is Life Giver. Putting 3 points into that will get you plus 60 health and regenerate lost health. But so far it hasn't been too much of an issue with only 1 endurance on survivor difficulty. Also put only 1 point into charisma. Later in the game I'm definitely going to take advantage of the Lone Wanderer. But I'm not going to do that until I get my followers that I want upgraded. I've already got Preston Gravy. I'd like to get Deacon. I just got him working on unlocking his perk. But if you didn't know, the perks that you get from maxing your followers in affinity is actually it sticks around even if you don't have them anymore. And the Lone Wanderer works with the dog. So when you max out Lone Wanderer, you're going to get 25% more damage, take 30% less damage, and increase your carry weight by 100, which is real nice. When I need to do any speech checks, I carry with me charisma gear, so it's real easy to just switch my gear and save beforehand and get through any speech check. And when I purchase items, I bring my Great Mentats. Great Mentats you can make with some whiskey and some food, and that gives you plus 5 charisma and better prices. So at every vendor that I've purchased anything, I've had no less than 10 charisma by swapping to my gear and popping those Great Mentats. Don't think it's really worth putting a point in unless you're doing local leader, and I feel local leader's not really worth it unless you're doing a no fast travel playthrough or real late game when you're just building settlements. Otherwise it's way too many points to devote into it unless you're going with a full charisma tree. Intelligence, only rank 1. I decided to try that rather than go into hacker, and so far I did not regret it one bit. Most of the computers are actually novice and you can already hack them, and the ones that aren't, a lot of times you can just use your lock picking skills, and I just haven't really had an issue. There's not really that much cool stuff that you can get through with the hacking. So 1 intelligence, which worked really good with my Idiot Solvent perk. or Savant perk, whatever the hell that thing is called. Now, most of my points originally went into agility. I started out with 9 agility, and that's so that you can get your most important OP skill called Blitz. Now, rank 1, I forget what level. I think you can. It's just any level. You can get it right away. I highly recommend getting this skill very early before you start any combat. It says find the gap and make the tackle. Melee distances increase significantly. Basically what it should say is that you got teleport hacks. And rank 2 of this, the distance is increased even more. And the further the distance, the greater the damage. So now I can teleport very far away. Let me just show you for a little science here. How far away you can actually hit people with this. Let's hit this settler here. Pull my sword out. So as long as you see the 95, that means you can hit them from that range. Let's find my range here. Alright, there's my range. Right about right here. So if I want to hit this settler, I just go like that. Boom. No animation. Just teleport and kill. Pretty awesome. The other thing is that when you get big leagues rank 4, you're doing cleave damage. The damage hits all targets in front of you, which is really nice. So if they're right next to each other, you can kill multiple enemies in one swing. But Blitz is extremely OP. The other thing I highly recommend upgrading first in the agility tree is Sneak. Sneak is really, really important. Getting this to rank 4 as fast as you can will make your life so much happier. Now, I highly recommend getting Sneak to rank 4 before you even put a single point into Ninja. You start the game out doing 3 times normal damage with your Sneak attack melees. 1 point into Ninja takes that up to 4. 2 points into Ninja takes that up to 5. And then 3 points into Ninja, you do 10 times normal damage, which is extremely OP. I've, at level 25, I fought, what's that big thing's called, Swan. Killed Swan in 2 sneak hits. I snuck up on Swan, 2 hits, dead. At level 20, I fought the robot under the castle Sarge, 1 hit. It was really not too difficult. And I did not have Ninja, so didn't need it at that point. But now that I'm higher level, Ninja is definitely getting maxed out. And at level 33, for sure, putting 10 points into that. But Sneak, most important. I put 1 point into Action Girl so far. And depending on my gear later on, I'll probably put another point. It's really important to get your action points filled up when you after you use your VATs. And that pretty much does it for the agility tree.
Behind me, I'm down.
Luck, I started out with 5 luck. Now that is because the first skill that I put into was the Idiot Savant perk, and this is really, really good at Int 1. It works at any, but it's more effective the lower your intelligence. And oh my god, this thing procs all the time. So much more than when I played my first playthrough and had 5 int. It is a huge difference. I've leveled up so fast. It's just insane how often this perks or procs. And you get at level 11 you unlock rank 2 of this, and you get 5 times XP from any action you do, which is crazy. You turn in a mission, chances are you're gonna do a complete level up, get like 1600 experience from it. It's nuts. The next thing I put into, I had to up my luck with skill points. A lot of people actually don't know that when you level up, you don't have to choose a perk. You can choose a special attribute. So you could max all of these out to 10 if you wanted. But had to put a couple points into it to unlock Critical Banker. I find Critical Banker one of the most important skills, and put it in there before better criticals. Rank 2 you unlock at 17, which means you can actually store 2 crits plus fill up your crit bar, so you have 3 back-to-back crits that you can execute. Really, really OP. And at 43 you can actually crit 4 times and save 3 of them. Really, really good. Next things I'm going to start working on is Grim Reaper's Sprint. At rank 3, any kill in VATS has a 35% chance to restore all action points and refill your crit meter. Pretty sweet there. And that pretty much does it. As far as items that I'm using, I first thing bought General Chao's Revenge. Oh, that's not quite everything. Let me show you also in luck. I put a point into Fortune Finder and Scrounger. Now you might ask, why Scrounger when you don't shoot guns? But the reason why is I use ammo for trading and selling. Every time I find a vendor, if there's nothing that I want to buy from them, I just sell them my ammo and get their bottle caps. So I've never actually spent a single bottle cap, but I've purchased quite a few items. I already have almost 12,000 bottle caps after buying multiple weapons and armor pieces from multiple vendors. So getting Scrounger is actually really worth it with a melee only build. You find more bottle caps worth of ammo with Scrounger than you will with the extra from Fortune Finder, but I put 1 point into both. Now for gear, General Chao's Revenge, you can purchase it, and it is purchasable at this little diner here right down the road from Concord, and you just talk to the lady there and the drug dealers. You can make peace with both of them and actually sell stuff to both of them, or whatever you want to do. It's not very expensive. Again, I had charisma gear and used some great mentats. By then I didn't actually have any great mentats, but I bought some whiskey from her and then went back home and made the great mentats and came back and got a really good deal on the General Chao's Revenge. Pretty strong sword early game, 50% more damage to robots, and as you can see, mine's already up to 194 damage. But this is the weapon I actually recommend getting. I didn't use Chao's Revenge for very long, and it quickly got replaced by this Rockville Slugger. I upgraded it to be aluminum and put the blades on it. It's extremely good. It is a slow damage weapon, but it does 222 damage, and what's great about it is it costs 40% less action points. This is purchasable at the what's that place called? Diamond City. Go to Diamond City and you can buy that. Highly recommend that. Definitely a better choice than General Chao's in my opinion. And let me just show you. So with General Chao's sword, let's equip General Chao's sword right here. The amount of VATS hits is 1, 2, 3, 4. With my action points currently where they're at, I can hit 4 times with General Chao's. Now with my baseball bat, because of the less action points costs, we can hit him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Oh, that's pretty damn good. And if we get another piece of gear that has reduction of costs and maybe get a little bit more agility, we can actually hit 8 times with this bat. Real nice. This bat is going to be really hard to replace and likely will never get replaced unless I find something crazy good. I did find a super sledge. It's not legendary or anything. I want a super sledge with that same roll, the 40% less action cost. That would be the ultimate super sledge. But a super sledge doesn't even do that much more damage. But it does do more damage. It's 277, although I think I can only hit 3 times with it. Yeah, 3 times. I'd like to get my action point reduction so that I could hit 4 times with the sledge. That would be nice, because then I could crit 4 times in a row. I also went and found Krem's Tooth. This is a modified machete, and you can actually take this blade off and put it on a machete. This is found in the Dunwich Borers. It's pretty nice, 194 damage, and it causes bleed and poison. You can take this blade off and put it on any machete. So if you find a legendary machete with really good perks, you can take this blade and put it on that machete. And you find this in the Dunwich Borers. It's all the way in the northeast. It's a little difficult to get into if you're melee. Definitely the hardest troubles I've had. Higher damage enemies, and you're really out in the open. You got to get down this big excavation hole and make it into the tunnels. At the end of the tunnels near Terminal 4, you'll find a bobblehead. Plus, you go a little bit deeper, you'll find this little pool of water that you got to swim down, and you'll find this dagger at the end of the water. Pretty sweet. That's pretty much it for weapons. I did find this freezing boxing glove. It's going to be fun. And I killed Swan for the Furious Power Fist, but I don't use them yet because I don't have my unarmed combat buffed up. Now for clothing, highly recommend move speed. I can't explain how much I love these. Destroyer's left leg and Destroyer's right leg gives me 20% move speed. Most important thing for me is not feeling like I'm extremely slow. I love these legs, and they're both purchasable. I think the right leg you buy at Vault 81. It's not too expensive in the depot at Vault 81. And the left leg, matching pair, you buy at Good Neighbor from the vendor there. So if you hate how slow you run, Good Neighbor and Vault 81, go purchase those and you will be happy. Champion left arm. I purchased this from a vendor that you originally see when you travel to your first little area. I think it was called Ten Pines Bluff. And both playthroughs, when I got to Ten Pines Bluff, the traveling merchant was there, and he sold the same item both times. So it's a good one. It's worth the buy. Gives you 1 strength, 1 endurance, and has high armor. I haven't upgraded it, and it's a good piece. I don't have a legendary right arm yet, but I'd like to get a chameleon one. I don't use chameleon with guns because it makes my crosshairs disappear, but chameleon will be pretty sweet for melee. Definitely want to get a chameleon right arm for this build. And Grognak's costume. You find this at Hubris Comics, I think it's called. Let me show you where that's at on the map. Comic book shop. Yeah, Hubris Comics right here. A little bit east of Diamond City. Highly recommend this if you're doing a melee build. It does huge damage. Unfortunately, it takes place of your chest armor and your clothing underneath, so you're going to be a lot less armor once you get your upgradable clothing from the railroad if you go down that path. But it adds huge damage. Let me show you. Rockville Sluggers at 222 damage, Super Sledge at 277. Now let's take off our Grognak costume. What it does is increases the strength and melee damage. It's giving me 2 strength, but it also gives huge amounts of damage. So now let's look. 181. So it's adding 41 damage to my baseball bat and 226. That's something like 50 damage to the Super Sledge. So if you want huge amounts of damage, highly recommend the Grognak costume. But that pretty much wraps it up for level 30 at this build. I still haven't taken my special book and put it into a stat. I can't decide if I want to pump up my agility higher, if I want to pump my strength up to the max. I'll probably end up going down the strength road and get 12 base strength rather than 12 base agility. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I'll make another video when I hit level 60. And Melee's been a lot of fun. Definitely worth trying it out.